Hey guys, Case Phillips here, and I'm a composer for adventure video games. By now you probably already know that. It's week 3 of writing my fantasy video game music pack, and this track is going great. It's medieval, magical, mysterious, and kind of sadly triumphant. A friend of mine, my housemate that I showed it to, actually said it's like finishing a really difficult journey but being reminded of the losses along the way, which I really like, so that might be inspiration for the name later on down the road. Today we're just fleshing out the different sections and rounding the song off as a whole. It's probably not too far from the end, just need to sort of tie up some of these ideas nicely. Let's get into it.
Okay, so last point we got to was we were adding in a section. We have our intro, and then we have sort of a section, then another break. Then back into the A section. I think some cymbals swelling into this section would be nice. Something real quiet. Maybe a little triangle to accent it. Yeah, that's nice. Something like that here. So originally, yeah, on my piano skeleton, that's when the main theme would come back in, but I don't think it's going to now. It's interesting, I've not stuck to the original skeleton, which is fine, but it's been useful to have it to return back to when I am stuck. Let's try it. Something with wind instruments is they tend to lag a little bit behind, so I'm just going to pull them forward. I like that sort of really mellow woodwind sound. It reminds me of like Ori in the Blind Forest, Hollow Knight, things like that. I think it works really well. Sounds good to me. And then we can have something else take it after that. Let's try that. Ooh, maybe we can have something else do that, actually. Something like the viola, because that was nice. The violin as well, but really quiet. There's that cello. Thinking, what could I combine with the cello here that's a little bit different? I've got a note on here of cello and oboe. Let's try it. Kind of nice. They sort of weaved in between each other there. I might bring in the flute as well to do another sort of line. Ooh. Is it too much going on? The second bit's nice. The rest not so much. I like that line. I'm wondering if I can fit it in where there's a bit of space in the melody. And that's enough for that melodic line. I think it's really nice to fill the sort of empty space in your melody with something else a little bit softer. Jeremy Soule, the composer of Skyrim, does that a lot. I want this bit to be a bit more reverberated than the rest of the piccolo lines. So we've got some choir. What are they doing here actually? You can climb at the end maybe. Actually hear it that much, so maybe we just automate the gain a little bit here. Sounds better. Then we could double it up with some lower ones. Maybe for the last chord we move to this choir actually. Just in the low, just to add a bit of beef. And maybe I won't have these so close together, these notes, just because they're sounding a bit too heavy. Quite important, the voicing, when you've got a lot of things playing similar chords. So I'm also going to do the same here. glockenspiel is quite nice. Maybe we can double that up on the Celeste and come back in. I like the idea of having timpani hits like on the offbeats. I think maybe a little bit, I love that, but a little bit of a lead up into these timpani hits. Yeah, I'm so tempted to just copy and paste these lines over. Is that cheaty? I don't think so, because they're just played nicely. So let's just do that. I'm pretty sure I had maybe a different idea for this. Okay, it's repeated and then with the major fourth instead, and ends with a major 7, 1 major 7 going to the 4, and the 4 will start off the C section. Yeah, if that doesn't make sense, it will when I start to write it out. But I like the idea of doing that. Because it's the same method I used earlier, going back to the tonic of our key, which is A minor. We use the dominant fifth, which is just the fifth of the key, which in this case is E minor. But you make it a major 7th. Just really wants to resolve nicely, because then instead of just the 2, the raised 7 really wants to resolve to the tonic. That's going to be a fun section. I need to make sure that it's not like too hectic. It's one of the hardest things actually I find when writing this sort of music. I just want it seems to want to grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger, but you need to kind of keep it relatively chill because it needs to sit in the background. So let's carry on. Let's get some violas going. actually taking a lead here. So do I need any more than those two parts for the... Maybe that can go in violins 2, and then we double it up an octave higher in violins 1. Ooh, maybe now we can double up the melodic line with some choir. Oh yeah, that always sounds nice. Maybe it's just the height of that. I don't know if it needs it. Might get something that's a bit less harsh to double that up an octave higher. Maybe something in the woodwind. Can work. I kind of like where that's going. I'm kind of just going to roll with it and see what happens here. So maybe we'll have a listen through and kind of see how it's sounding. That kind of sounds nice, just dropping out. Maybe we can have some harp coming back in here. Remember just to, if I'm having that piccolo flute sort of come in there and take that melodic line away, I want to leave room for it. I don't want to muddy it up with other things. And then I'm going to give it a bit of its own reverb. Just the natural one that I've been doing before. I want to keep this melody going. Yeah. Yeah, this is nice. Oh, that's a good idea. So maybe because this seems to keep building, we can keep it building, and then the second time, so we were going to move to this D section here. But instead of starting off soft again like I was thinking, it could come in strong and powerful because we've got this build up, and then the very last bit could be soft, and then it will trail off nicely into this soft section of A, and then it can loop. I think that would be good. Hell yeah. Sounded very Ori. Again, I don't want this all to be too overpowering, so I'm going to drop it down just another dB, because more is sort of happening, more is going on. I'm using stronger expression in the instruments because I do want them to be a bit more like whoa, if you know if you know what I mean. That doesn't make any sense, but I don't want it to just start being like way too loud and overpowering. I want to double up this cello. I think the oboe is really nice with the cello. I'm gonna do that. Maybe the English horn could take it alone. Oh, that works. There's so many little bits I put in earlier that I forgot about, and then they just seem to just blend so well. Trying to think where they would have to play, where they would have to take a breath, the player. Yeah, probably there makes the most sense. bassoon as well, maybe? It's cheeky. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a break here, I reckon, and then we'll pick it up in another session because Logic is freaking out.
Okay guys, my laptop is melting in this heat. It's really struggling to keep up, so I'm going to end this one here. We're nearly there with this one, so I reckon the next episode we'll be finishing this up. There'll be a little bit to do at the end, and then I just want to kind of go through and neaten up some sections. I noticed there's some transitions between sections that I think could be a little bit cleaner. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that one. Drop a comment below if you're enjoying the series so far. I always like hearing from you guys, and thanks as always for watching. See you in the next one.